Hello, Leviticus 27 is the end of Leviticus and talking about how to redeem things that are Lord dedicated and stuff. There's a little verse in here that I want to read from Eliot's Commentary for English Readers. Not as, but shall surely be put to death, not as a sacrifice to God, but on the contrary, to remove, to be removed out of his sight. This is apparent opponent of the passage, import of this, and seems to be confirmed by the melancholy narrative of Jotha, his daughter. This seems to have been interpretation put in question on the law in the Second Temple, since its embodiment of the Chaldeans version, which rendered the following verse as, "Every vow that shall be vowed of man shall not be redeemed with money, but be burnt offering with hollow victim and supplications for mercy before the Lord, because such are to be put to death. It is, however, suppose that this awful vow of banning could only be exercised on notorious or malefactors idolaters, as dangerous to the faith of the Israelites, it could not be made of any private individual of his own responsibility, and when such cases occurred in the community or Sanhedrin carried out the ban as an act of judicial necessity, such showing it to be the most holy unto the Lord, according to Leviticus chapter 27, verses 20 and 29. Yes. I did go all the way back to the top. Why did it have this back? According threat of two different cases, the former regulates the object ban unto the Lord, which differs from the vow of dedication only so far that it's unredeemable, while Leviticus regulates the banning enacted by the law itself. Exodus 22:19, or the pronounced by the court of justice on the man who is irretrievably to be put to death. Other commentaries bias and commentary not by men devoted of men, not by men. Some allude to it of men. This, for it is manifest from this and foreign vessels that men are not the persons devoting, but devoted to destruction, either God's sentence or as idolaters. But this is contrary, not certainly not to be understood as some have to take it as if the Jewish might be, by virtue of this text, devoted his child or his servant to the Lord, thereby obligating himself to put them to death. For this especially limits all that a man has which is his, that is, which he hath power over. But the Jews had no power over the lives of their children or their servants, but were directly forbidden from taking them away. By the great command, thou shalt not do murder. And seeing that he killed his servant, casually by a blow with a rod was surely to be punished, as is said in Exodus 21, verse 20. It could not be lawful willfully to take away the life upon precedence of which such vow is this. But for the Canaanites, the Edomites, God undoubtedly, the Lord of all men's life, gave the Israelites power over their persons and lives, and commanded them to be put to death because of their sins, of course. Matthew Henry's things or persons devoted are distinguished from the things or persons that were only sanctified. Devoted things were holy to the Lord, and could neither be taken back nor applied to other purposes. Whatever production they had been, if it God must be honored with a tenth of, if it could be applied. Thus, they acknowledge God to be the owner of their land, the giver of their fruits. Yes. Another one, Brenner's note. Therefore, the application of the word charm to man is made exclusively in reference to rightly doomed to death. Man who is in a right spirit either carries or sends the doom of offer, who with a single eye of duty slays an enemy in battle must regard himself as a servant regarding God up to life. Also, Jesus is set apart, holy to the Lord, as an offering. James Frost and Brown Bible shall be surely put to death. This announcement imported not that the person be sacrificed or doomed to violent death, but only that he should remain until death inederably in the devoted condition. The practice seating regulations were evidently designated as preventing rashness in vows, and encouraged series of reflections on all matters between God and the soul. And people are going to say, "Oh, this is convenient. You're trying to make excuses. Blah 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 blah." It's like they accuse something of being false, then when being horrible, and then when some people actually do research into it to find out what they actually mean, and find out it's not actually as bad as it is, or as it sounds, they throw the biggest hissy fit in the world. Because why? Why do it? Why at all? Why? Why throw this hissy fit? Why not just admit maybe your interpretation was wrong?